Well, Lincoln has got an incredibly rich history, and it's also got a strong link with Magna Carta and King John. We made a film called The Empty Throne, which is a painting that comes to life about King John and Magna Carta and the impact that an oppressive rule had on the characters around King John. Lincoln is it's an interesting city, and it's got such a heritage behind it with the cathedral and the castle. It was kind of the perfect place to film it, because it does have such a unique look and set of locations that we could find a place that really did resonate with the material.
So for 1215 Today, we made 2 video works that are short and funny and about identity and freedom. So they're respectively about ageism and racism. It was great to kind of go and work in Lincoln with young people there to kind of explore some of these issues, because I think every city has their own identity. It's really interesting to kind of get a sense of who these young people are and how we might not just connect to each other, but to connect to people outside of the city.
So the work that we're making for Lincoln Voices is a piece called Disaster Party. If you've ever wanted to be anyone else for a couple of hours, this is your chance. Put on your headphones, listen to your lines, leave yourself behind, and become a character in this immersive experience.
We had a lot of conversations with Lincoln academics about politics, and that helped us see politics in a new light. And we talked a lot, particularly about politics of conflict and how conflict arises between political parties, but also between social groups and between individuals. And we brought a lot of that into the show. And we also thought a lot about the contemporary context of Magna Carta and the situations that arose from, and how power is acquired today and held on to today and abused today.
We did an online resource, making young creatives think about which spaces they use if they just produce from their bedrooms and uni, and which other spaces they use in their town where they live. And then to map those places that are easily available and put them online. So we did a first pilot in Leeds. I think we kind of mapped about 25 spaces. And now the project on the website has been taken on by General Practice in Lincoln. And they have a very kind of established network to local producers, creatives, artists.
So Magna Carta immediately, to me, makes me think about rights, about codifying rights. And so I was thinking then immediately about the present day, about the 21st century. Human rights obviously are really important still. And my concept for the Magna Carta project was to engage young people about human rights. So the idea was that at the same time, all around the world, they would film themselves talking about the human right that they care the most about.
The work that I have made for Lincoln Voices is called Disobey, and it's a 29-minute film to do with the law and society and what governs our behavior. I took the Magna Carta as a very loose starting point. It laid the foundation for an idea of the law and our social responsibility in regards to the law. In order for us to change and become better human beings, to really fulfill our potential.
For 1215 Today, we made a dynamic journey, which is an interactive website that focuses on social media and how we interact with the vast amount of content.
So when we looked at the Magna Carta as a kind of source of inspiration, it was just this idea that this was a document that was designed or created to kind of hold the powers that be to account to a degree. And we were thinking, well, what kind of are kind of controlling powers or influence nowadays? And we thought of kind of media, and then specifically kind of online media, and nobody seems to necessarily be questioning that much kind of how it's designed and the thinking behind that design as a particular kind of to get a reaction from the user to kind of keep consuming information.
I think the way people consume information nowadays isn't stratified in the way it was historically. First of all, those social divisions don't seem to exist except in a more kind of identity-based way. There's obviously social strata, but I don't think it's coded in quite the same way or channeled in quite the same way. The work's called Widows and Orphans. The script, which is the initial part of the whole project, was composed through taking fragments within different editions of the same book, the same history book, History of the Modern World, from different points in history, and then creating a kind of mashup of that history. So art, you know, and I'm saying art, the lowercase a, has that kind of opportunity, I think, of accessing it on your own terms.